What's up, everyone? This is Matt Mrozik, and this will be an intro video slash quick review on the Graven Labs classic Iron Man prototype. I have two of these, as you can see. One is the prototype. One second, I'm going to do something. I'm going to adjust my camera so I can wheel in and out. There we go. One is prototype, one is mine. So I'll try to do both at the same time. I believe he still has some of these available. So if you like what you see, shoot Marcus a message and ask about the PO information. As usual, he just kind of showed up unexpectedly. He told me he was shipping them to me, but I didn't get any tracking information until like 3 days ago, saying, "Hey, you have a package arriving," and actually thought this was a Hulk because the UPS tracking showed 2 boxes, and like, oh, it's the Hulk that I know is on the way. And so I told the other guy that was sending me, I was like, "Hey, I should have Hulk today." And he's like, "Oh, cool, sweet. You're the first person to get one." Nope, it's Iron Man. So yeah, I don't have a tape measure as usual. I'm never prepared, just because I'm stupid. But anyway, so I can't measure him for you. But he's a quarter scale classic Iron Man. And I've got them both out here because I'm going to kind of show you kind of what you can do with switch outs and stuff. There's quite a few. Pretty cool sculpt. I like it. I had a little bit of breakage on this one right here. As you can see, the bottom of the base cracked out. You have to excuse me. I've got my PJ bottoms on because it's late and it's cold here. So, you know, that's how I roll. At least I wear clothes, unlike Mr. X, who doesn't wear pants when he does a video. So at least I've got pants on. And what I found out is that I thought it was shipping and packaging, but it really wasn't that because the other one showed up fine. What it is, and I'll just have to make an adjustment, I'll have to do some production, is that the this piece down here doesn't quite fit in the base, and I think what happened, it got knocked on this one and it just chipped out. There's a little bit of a gap here, so it's a little tight right here, and I think it just got hit, just got hit just right, and that part broke out. So I'll adjust it on this one. I'll have to glue that back together and fix it, so it's not the end of the world. But cool piece, classic Iron Man on a simple base. Base is real simple. It's kind of raw, kind of like if you think of Iron Man 1. He's just, well, not really the movie, but again, this is just me talking because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You have Iron Man version 1 suit down here that he built in the cave, so you got some remnants of that, which is pretty cool. So you got the helmet, some plates of armor, and then just a few pipes kind of strewn kind of on this. Looks like some rock from a building maybe, and then just some rubble and stuff around it. So pretty simple base. And then moving up, you have classic Iron Man. I mean, the sculpt is done really well. I like it. Got this weird pink primer on it from the factory, which will get overcoated with gray primer, but really cool. So the way he plugs in, there's actually 2 outlets in here for power because he's got light up features on both hands, the chest, and then the helmeted version of the portrait is a light up feature. So I'm going to just kind of keep this guy the way he is. I'm not going to mess with him at all because I'm going to show you the switch outs on this guy. I just wanted to show you the 2 portraits together. Let me come in a little tighter so you can see him. So we got unmasked and helmeted portraits, both looking really good. I'm not sure if the unmasked or unhelmeted portrait is supposed to look like anyone in particular. It doesn't look like Robert Downey Jr. or anything like that, but I like it. It's a younger Tony Stark, which would make sense. Maybe in his mid to late 30s, as when he became Iron Man. But I like it. It's clean up, pretty clean. He's got a little bit of a stubble going on here, a little goatee action going on the bottom, a little bit of a beard, nothing too much. I like the hair sculpt, looks really nice. Yeah, I like it. Strong features, looks powerful. And then you have your classic helmet over here, obviously. And the head's actually casted in clear resin. And that's so the eyes can light up. If I bring him in closer, he'll lose a light. So I'll just take the primer and paint off the eyes, and the eyes will light up. But the head's casted in clear resin, and there's the light bulb right there to light it up that plugs into the neck. So what was interesting is when I got these, like I said, I thought it was a Hulk I was getting. I got 2 boxes. Like, man, those look really small to be a Hulk, at least the Hulk I'm getting. And then sure enough, I open it, it's like an Iron's like, oh, this an Iron Man. I thought it was Iron Man and Thor, because initially I was going to do the Thor prototype too, but he's having the factory do that because they're able to do it. So he sent me my Iron Man and the prototype Iron Man at the same time. So let's go through the switch outs. So the switch outs are the portrait switch out, and then the right hand. The left hand does not have a switch out. It stays the same. So the way the head works, let's come in a little tighter. My amazing camera work as usual. For the unmasked or without the helmet, it just kind of sits in there. There's actually a plug, but it doesn't do anything. Everything, the arms are just fit in, and they stay in by the plugs, and they're actually a real nice fit. So the collar comes off, and the unmasked, I'm just going to say unmasked, it's easier. Unmasked portrait just kind of sits in there, but it's done really well. And then for the helmet, for the masked portrait, you have this plug that plugs into the neck to receive power. There's a light bulb there, and then when that light bulb lights up, the whole head will light up. But obviously we just paint everything and leave the eyes unpainted. So let's put the unmasked portrait back on, since we got that on the other one. And then since I'm close here, we'll go through the switch outs. So we got the first one is just his normal hand, or his normal Iron Man hand extended out using one of the blasters. Pretty cool. I've got a bunch of clear lenses and stuff that came with this. So you've got that version there. And the way this works is that when you take the arms out, so I take this arm out, it's a good fit, and it's just being held in there by the plug. So it's a good strong fit. Now they didn't send me any AC adapters, so I don't have any, so I can't test the lights, which is kind of a bummer, because I really wanted to test it up, because this thing kind of lights up everywhere. So the arm comes off, and it's got this little kind of collar piece, and there's two of these. One is for the arms that are extended straight out, and then one are for the two where it's bent. And then this is actually, I think this is my favorite one. This arm is probably my favorite. This is really cool. I didn't realize they did this, but this is really clever, and it's engineered very well too. So it's as if he's extending his hand out, and it's his bare hand, but all the armor is starting to wrap around his hand. So they did a really, I was like, I didn't realize they did that, to be honest. But I started putting, I was like, what is this? I didn't understand it at first. And then once I got it together, I was like, oh, it's cool. It's like he's extending his hand out, and his armor is closing around his hand and his arm. So really, really clever trick, and it looks really good. They did a good job on how they engineered it. It's just thick in the blue tack right now, but they have all these little pieces of armor stuck to the hand, and it looks like the armor is closing around his hand and forearm. So done pretty cool. I think that may be my favorite one. That's really cool. So that's it for the two that extend out. So we take that off. Should be a fairly short video. I don't want to break anything, which I tend to do sometimes. And then to do the other arms, there's three that are bent. Well, one arm's bent, and then you got you have the next kind of collar piece, and that fits around this arm, just like that, and it fits perfectly. So I'm not sure in production if they're going to do one piece like this, or if each arm will have a piece on it like this. I'm not sure. So that's going to go in there like this. Oops. The little side piece keeps coming off, sorry. That's going to go in there. And then from here, all the other hands will plug in. So you have two. You have, again, just the armor. This Iron Man armor hand. Like that. Looking pretty cool. And there's a light up feature. All the palms have light up features, by the way. And then if you don't want that, you can do the Infinity Gauntlet. And the Infinity Gauntlet is huge, which is cool. And then the Infinity Gauntlet plugs in. And then that will light up. All the stones will light up. There you go. So you can have the Infinity Gauntlet. You can have just the normal kind of Iron Man hand bent. I'm gonna switch these around, or you can have. I think this is my favorite. I really like this. This is a cool way they did that with the armor going around his hand. So if we spin these around, sculpt looks great. I like the muscle definition of the armor. Everything fits really well, except for the Iron Man 1 version 1 helmet in the base. I've got to work on that a little bit. I actually have one clear piece. I'm not sure if it's an extra piece or what it is, but I can't find out where it goes. So I may have to ask Marcus or look at the pictures a little more. Something's on there, something sticky. So these all the pieces get washed anyway. But so since I don't have a tape measure, oh, but I do have a ruler. Let me do that. I've got a ruler. Is it tall enough? It's not tall enough. Is this ruler tall enough? Aha, it is tall enough. I may not be a smart man. Okay, from the bottom of the base to his head, which is the tallest point, you're right at 22, right about 22 inches. If you have the Infinity Gauntlet on, which would make him taller, 23 inches. So he's 21 inches tall without the Infinity Gauntlet. Or sorry, 22 inches tall without the Infinity Gauntlet, 23 inches with the Infinity Gauntlet. Your depth-wise takes up a small footprint, which is kind of nice. So if you worry about space, you don't have to worry about too much. About 10.5 inches deep. And your width, it's right about 14 inches. So 10.5 deep, 14 wide, and 23 tall. So nice small footprint. Great classic sculpt. Quite a few switch outs on the right hand. So it's cool. I mean, you got quite a few options to do. Again, I think I like this, to be honest, and I'd probably like the unmasked portrait a little bit better. I'm being a person who doesn't read the comics or stuff, I can't say I'm dedicated to a certain genre or artist of something. If I see something and I know I like it, as just that's how I roll. You know, it's like I'm learning more and more about certain artists and sculptors as I do more of this. But if, I just like, hey, I like the way that looks. So I'm not a real fan personally of the classic Iron Man helmet. I like everything else about it. I'm just not a fan of the helmet. I don't know, it looks a little wonky to me. I personally like the unmasked portrait, but again, that's my personal taste. Someone else may like it over the other, but I like it. It's the suit is not as complex as the later versions of the suit. So we're having some discussions as far as paint goes. Is we're going to do this all shiny? Are we going to do a little little damage? It'd probably be shiny at the beginning, and then maybe, I don't know if we're going to do any kind of battle damage or weathering on it. I don't know. Personally, I'd probably just keep it shiny. I mean, that's just me. I think it'd look good. It's not like he just got done battling anything. The scene doesn't depict him fighting anyone. It's really just him kind of showing off. The base, obviously, in the Iron Man 1 suit will get a little banged up and beat up because it's in pieces, but as far as he goes, it's not a diorama. It's really just a museum pose on a slightly more complex base and just a logo or something like that. So, oh, by the way, here's the AC adapter down here at the bottom of the back right here is where it plugs in. So that's where that plugs in. But yeah, cool piece. This will get done after Captain America, which I will be starting here shortly. So I have a busy holidays coming up, painting for Marcus again. Every Christmas I paint a prototype for him. It seems one or two prototypes. Last year it was Cyclops I painted over the holidays. I got that wrapped up, and then into Colossus. So props to Marcus for throwing me work and keeping me busy, because I like the stuff they're putting out. And I'm super excited to see people are getting Silver Surfer, and the people have gotten it so far like it. It always makes me happy when someone receives a project that I've had a part in and then they're happy with it. It's just not me. Obviously, there's the sculptor, all the art direction. Paint is just a very small part of that. but it is really nice to be part of groups and teams that allow me to be part of their process, and then people get a piece, and I'm just real happy that I've had a small part in that they're getting stuff that they like, and they're willing to invest sometimes a pretty good amount of money into something that I've had a part in. So that means a lot to me. So that's where I get a lot of enjoyment is, and then if there's any critiques or anything on it, I take that into consideration and move on and work on that. But anyway, I'm rambling as usual, but here you go. Classic Iron Man, Graven Labs, prototypes 1 and 2. As pieces fall off because they're not glued on. I'm not sure if those are in clear resin because they don't light up, but they're cool. So yeah, I'll put down the Marcus's information down below. Feel free to shoot him a PM. I think he still has a few. And I'm not sure what the price is again. I never know what these go for because for the most part I don't buy them. If I do something, as like I said, as a trade. So my fee is the kit for the paint job, and then I'll typically paint and sell. But something like this I may keep. I like it. I mean, and it's small. It doesn't take up a ton of space, and that's my problem. I don't have space to displace this stuff. My wife won't let me take up any room in our media room to put stuff up. So until that day comes, I just want a room to display it, and I just want to paint. But enough of me rambling on. And I did talk to Marcus about a few little concerns I had, just in these initial. Again, these are prototype castings, so these aren't production pieces. Just a few little concerns, and one of them was the breakage down here. And I think, again, that's just a fitting issue with this helmet. It just doesn't quite fit. And so it caused some stress on there, and it broke. So I don't think it was the packing, to be honest. I think it's just the way this helmet fits. So he's already had contact with the factory about that stuff. So hopefully he'll watch this video and he'll realize that I don't think it was a packing issue. I think it was just the fit of this helmet, and that's something obviously they would take care of in production. It's just, again, you get that prototype casting, the first out of the molds, and sometimes there's some adjustments that have to be made later on in production. So, but there you go. As I said before, enough of me rambling. I'll shut up now, and hope you guys watch this. And if you like it, get one. As always, thanks for watching. It's Matt Mrozek. Catch you guys next time. Bye.